Hi everyone. Today I'm gonna review the Raid 2, and first of all, I, I'm a big fan of the first one. First Raid, Raid Redemption was a surprise. It kind of blew me away, with the fight scenes and the fight scenes and how raw and gritty it was, and hardcore and everything like that. So naturally, I had high expectations for the sequel, and to be honest, I wasn't that impressed. I'm gonna try to explain why, because first of all, I thought the Raid Redemption, the first one, was so good, and I thought director Gareth Evans. Uh, I thought you can hear music. It's neighbors. Uh, if what was I saying? Oh, I was saying Gareth Evans. He raised the bar so high in fight scenes and what you can do. Action wise with fight scenes that no matter what he did, with the sequel, he wasn't gonna top it. I mean, that's what I think, and there are nice moments. I think there's some of the fight scenes were decent. I mean, I like the jail fight in Raid 2, uh, and the kitchen fight. There's a kitchen. That was pretty good. But those are two fight scenes that stood out to me in a 2.5 hour movie, and that's one of the problems I had with this movie. It was too long. There's no reason why it should be 2.5 hours. The first one was less than 2 hours. It was only an hour and 40 minutes. It had good pace. It flew by. I didn't feel like it felt like only an hour. It didn't feel that long, and it had great pace, great action. I liked the characters. I liked the story. I liked how they were trapped in the apartment. It was simple. The sequel, I think it tried too hard to top the first one, to be honest. And I like the acting. The acting was good. The fight scenes when they're I'm not saying all the other fight scenes, like there's one in the subway. There's one and at the end, there's a car chase scene. I'm not saying those are bad. I'm just saying those, for what they are, they're not bad. They're decent, but it's just the first one was so good and so mind blowing that I didn't feel the same way. Watching it, you know it was just there. It was okay. Um, like I said, I mean the bar was raised so high that and from what I understand, people are saying the second one is better. I don't see it, to be honest. I don't get it. And if you like both, if you like the second one better than the first one, it's fine. That's your opinion, but I didn't think the second one was memorable, to be honest, except for those two fight scenes and, like you mentioned, the jail, in the field, where there's like this crazy ass scene, which was the first big fight scene. Actually, the second big fight scene, and that was good. I'll remember that. That was actually really good. And the kitchen fight scene, that was good. But those stood out to me. Those, I thought, were almost as good as any of the fights in the first one. But all the other fights, they weren't as good, to be honest. And I probably, I didn't. It didn't impress me that much. Not like the first one. I mean, there's some of the, you get the main character back from the first one, who was, the rookie SWAT leader. He's now, he's going undercover, and one thing that really bothered me, to be honest, was this is gonna be a spoiler, so I will spoil some if you haven't seen the movie. But the the main character's brother, who he tried to help in the first movie, the brother gets killed in the beginning of the movie, and to me, it made the first one kind of pointless. You just that was one of the main goals for the main character to do in the first movie, and then he just died, and his brother just dies in the beginning of the movie, like nothing. I didn't like that. The story, to be honest, I didn't care. Like I said, the first one, it was simple. It was SWAT leaders going into an apartment building, and they get trapped by this drug lord, and they had to fight their way out. Pretty much, simple. This one, you got mobsters. They want something. Main character has to go undercover, has to go to jail to protect his wife and child. Um, he sort of becomes friends with this new character, who that new character his dad is like a mob boss, and there's a new villain who is the one who killed the main character's brother. It's a little to me. I just felt it's a little too convoluted. I don't know. I didn't care. I mean when the fight scenes save the movie. To be honest, even though they're not as good as the first one, but still, I didn't care for this one so much. The And then the way the movie ends is just kind of I don't know. You could look at it as either a setup for a third movie or an ambiguous ending. I don't know. I didn't really care. So I mean, like I said, the a few of the fight scenes were good. I still like the acting. The characters were bad. They were decent. It's just the movie was too long. It did not need to be 2.5 hours. Fight scenes that are decent, but not even close to being as mind blowing or as good as the original. And I felt it's overkill. To be honest, the movie was just overkill, and if I'm sorry, that's what I think. If there's a third one, it's the same director, Gareth Evans. My only wish is it has to be shorter, and the story has to be more simple, and hopefully, he has some new fight scenes that can be as good as the original. But I mean, like if you take away the fight scenes, in my opinion, you take away the fight scenes in the first movie, you still have a good, interesting story. You got good characters, and the sequel, you take away the fight scenes, you still have good characters, but you have in my opinion, a lackluster story that I didn't care for, to be honest. But and I was really looking forward to the sequel. To be like I said, I was really looking forward to the sequel. This is not me trying to bash on it too much, because like I said, I was surprised with the first one. It blew me away, and the second one didn't do for me as much. I mean, if I had to say what overall what my thoughts are on the Raid 2 is that it's okay at best. I mean, it has its moments, but it's too long, and it felt like overkill, and that's what I think. And I mean, if you love the movie, especially if you love it more than the first one, that's good. That's a good thing. I wish I could say that, but that's not what I think. I'm being honest, but so I was disappointed. What can I say? If there's a third movie, I hope it's good. I hope. Um, but those are my thoughts on the Raid 2, and I got nothing else to say, but don't get too mad at me. I'm sorry. Adios.